Isn't it wild how some problems are just disappearing because of AI? There's a specific problem that I used to have as a marketing director for a university where we were just too successful as a marketing department and we generated too many leads. And the sales reps, they just couldn't keep up with them. We were generating hundreds of leads a week sometimes, and I just couldn't man the phone all the time. We would drop inbound calls. We certainly couldn't follow up with every single lead that was coming in, and it was a massive problem. Maybe you've experienced this. Maybe you've been frustrated because you know you could get leads at different times of the day, but you don't have anyone manning the phone in order to call in the evenings and the weekends and the holidays, or maybe whenever it's hot and you know like the deal's there, or you want to be able to scale because you just had a big event and you only have so much sales staff, so you have to book appointments way out, right? That's a thing of the past. That doesn't have to be a thing anymore. You can actually have everybody talk to a sales agent, and it works remarkably well even now. And it drives me crazy because this is actually tech that is reliable, it works, and it is getting way better. Every single month, it feels like they're launching new updates and nobody's talking about it. This is one of the best tools available to marketers right now. So in this video, I want to talk to you about what a sales agent is, what it can actually do reliably now, and how to set one up. It's way easier than you think. Welcome back to the AI-Driven Marketer. I'm Dan Sanchez. My friends call me Danchez. And yes, sales agents are a thing. You might have already talked to one already, but I'm not talking about those automated phone systems that Apple and a lot of other people have where you call in, you'd be like, I'm a fully automated system that can handle complete sentences. No, those are garbage. Those are old tech. This is the new tech. This is the thing that's actually reliable and available at a dirt cheap price that even a local business could afford. Like if I were a chiropractor, I would have one of these installed for my business so that my phone agent could handle questions, book calls for me, or book appointments for me because I'm busy cracking backs all day, right? So this is a game changer for a lot of marketing departments and even a lot of local businesses that can't be manning the phone at all hours. So let me walk you through the step-by-step process. First, let's talk about what a sales agent actually is. Because you might be thinking, Dan, like, are we talking about just phone calls here? No, it can handle so much more than phone calls. So that's kind of like the cool way. That's the way that for a lot of businesses, they just want to be able to pick up the phone and book a meeting or find out more or learn right away. I know I'm always irritated if they don't have a phone number if I call because, I want to know what the pricing is and I want to know it now. And if I can't find it on the website, I just want to be able to pull up the phone and talk to somebody right away. And now they can. So it is a voice agent. It sounds really good, but it's so much more than that. It's actually like usually these AI agents can power voice. They can power site chat. They can power text messages the same way. And even a select few social media channels through the DMs. Like if you want a voice agent or a sales agent to be able to actually have conversations with people there and do what they do. So that kind of leads to the conversation of like, well, Dan, like what can they do? Can they just answer questions or can they take actions? Because that's what I need my SDRs or my receptionist or our frontline sales staff to be able to do. They can take lots of actions now. That's the thing that's gotten cool over the last probably few months is that they've actually added more and more capabilities to these. And I'm using mine with high level, and I'll talk to you more about how I've set it up in high level, but like you can do so many more actions now. It can actually it can answer questions based on your database of answers, but of course it can now book meetings, which is the big one, right? You want to be able to even qualify it and then set up meetings for a sales executive or something, or just you, the founder of the company. It doesn't have time to take every phone call, but if they can get their basic questions answered and then book a meeting, you'd want to take that. They can send text messages because oftentimes it's like, oh yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, can you send me some info about that? And instead of explaining it, they can send a one pager or a PDF through a text message or an image through a text message or whatever you need to send it to them. So that's pretty cool. They could transfer phone calls, which is kind of an interesting prospect that I'd really like to experiment with. Like, how can you use a phone agent to qualify someone and then transfer the call to the right person based on where they go? That's a useful feature. They can trigger workflows. If a sales agent can trigger an automated workflow, it can do anything, right? You can have it collect the email and then send that email through a workflow and then do whatever you do in an automated workflow, whether it's an email sequence or whatever. And the cool thing is that this isn't theory. This is actionable and available right now in today's tech. Like, it's going to get way better, way, way better. People won't even be able to tell it's an AI agent. But right now, it's actually reliable, it's useful, and I don't know why more businesses aren't using it. Right now, you're probably thinking, yeah, but how does it sound? Well, let's give it a call and find out. So I'm pulling up my AI agent that's been trained on how to promote high level.
Hi, I'm Dan's AI assistant. Would you like me to set up a complimentary session with Dan to learn more about high level, or would you prefer an overview of high level from me first?
Before setting up an appointment, why don't we actually get an overview of high level? In fact, how much does high level cost?
High level offers a few pricing options. For $97 a month, you get everything for one business location, including CRM, funnels, email, SMS, and more. If you're managing multiple brands or clients, the $297 plan gives you unlimited accounts and lets you brand the platform as your own. There's also a $497 version if you want to sell high level as your own SaaS platform. You can save with yearly plans too. Are there any other questions I can answer about high level? Or would you like to move on to booking your session with Dan?
Let's book a session with Dan. Like, what time does he have available?
Great. Let's find a time that works for you. How about Friday, August 22nd at either 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m., or 3 p.m. in the America-Chicago time zone? Do any of these work for you?
Yeah, that 3 p.m. on the 27th sounds pretty good. And there you have it. Instead of walking through the full booking process with you, I'm just going to call it there because it will then confirm the date, get the email, send the notification, and then end the call. It's just really cool to be able to have something like that available, and it's available to anybody. But let me show you how easy it is to set up, because it seems like it could be complex, but I was amazed at how fast and easy it was in order to get it up and running. Let's jump into high level, and I'll show you. So for all you voice people up there, I'm going to open up my desktop and walking through this, but you'll be able to kind of get the gist of this as I walk through the high level app on the back end here. You can see I'm on the AI Agents tab, and it has a bunch of different options from voice, conversational AI. Conversational AI is pretty much everything outside of voice, from text message, site chat, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and go to my agent list and go to this one. It's currently the only one I have because I only have one phone number, and right now it's just set to promote high level. So I'm going to open up high level promoter, and you can see that you give it a name, you give it the business name, which is just me, Dan Sanchez. It takes inbound calls. It will soon be able to take outbound calls. Well, you're like, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable of an AI agent outbound selling my prospects or even calling me. In high level, they'll restrict it probably to only being able to do outbound calls for it through the workflow. So if they come through a workflow because they filled out a form and requested a quote, then it can follow up 15 minutes later with an outbound call. Wouldn't that be nice? It has a place where you can send the initial message like, "Hi, I'm Dan's AI assistant. Would you like to set up a complimentary session with Dan to learn more about high level? Would you prefer an overview of high level from me first?" I think by telling it it's an AI assistant and offering two different choices, or the caller to two different choices, is a good way to go for these. I'm still looking for other options to see how other people have started it, but I think that one's pretty good. You can give the AI agent goals on this tab and essentially say, hey, like, one, here's your knowledge base of high level. I'll show you that in a second. You can give it a prompt saying like, hey, this is the main objective that you're trying to complete. Here's your prompt of all the context it needs, the background info, the tools it has access to, how it's trying to work through the call and answer questions. A lot of this is already pre-built into it, so it seems like a long and detailed prompt. This is already set. I've come through and just customized it a little bit, but generally, like, you can just kind of give it a basic prompt overview and then just let the sucker run. You get to set up actions or tools that it has at its disposal in order to take. You can see mine's already hooked up to my appointment booking calendar. So if you call that number that I just called, in fact, the number is 615-610-0721. Give it a shot. You can book a calendar meeting with me right now to talk about high level if you want to. You can have it kick off a workflow when they call in. In fact, every time someone calls my number, I do get an email of the whole conversation so I could check to make sure it's doing the right thing at the right time. And it does a great job of actually staying on track. You have phone availability. I have it running 24/7, 365 because I think that's the advantage of having an AI agent, but you can give it certain hours, probably so you could set one agent to do one thing during a time and a different agent to have a different set of prompts for another time, which is kind of cool. And of course, you can have a dashboard with all the logged items and how often people are calling and what the conversations are, and you can keep track of all that different stuff. But let me show you the knowledge base. Almost all of that is pretty easy to set up. You just kind of give it some guidance, but it's the knowledge base where the money is. And I'm going to go ahead and my high level knowledge base. And there's essentially two different ways to train your AI agents right now. There is the web crawler, where you just essentially feed it web pages of your website and get it trained on different pages so it knows that. And FAQs, you essentially load different information about the question and the answer, so as people ask that question or similar questions, it knows exactly what to tell it. In fact, the most common question about high level is, well, of course, how much does it cost? Are we talking about like Salesforce prices, HubSpot prices, ActiveCampaign prices? And so when people ask how much high level cost, it has a script that it goes to and just reads that, just like we heard on the phone call earlier. But of course, I have it loaded up with all kinds of information about high level, all about the templates that I have at AIAutomationVault.com. And they have one new place where you can actually train it over called Tables, where you can upload Excel sheets or CSVs full of information to have it available that way. Now, this is a coming soon feature, but high level moves pretty fast with developing these things. So by the time this comes out, it's probably a month, maybe two away at most, when they're going to be shipping a feature that probably allows you to upload these tables in order to educate your sales agent. So again, that's just how easy it is to set these things up. Put the phone number on your website, on your emails, on your campaigns, and let people call in. Let it answer basic questions for you, and then queue up your appointments so that it's not just a booked appointment, but it's actually a booked appointment that's had their basic questions answered already. That's a much better lead than someone who's just come on off the website and might have some basic questions that could have been answered already. So give it a shot yourself. Call 615-610-0721. Or you could just go to danchez.com/high level, and I'll put a link in the description below so that you can give a 30-day trial to high level, set it up quickly yourself, and experiment with it. See if it's something that would be worthwhile. Because my question to you is, how often are you losing leads because you're not able to take phone calls or answer questions in the evenings, on the weekends, and the holidays, and during the times where your staff can't be available to answer the phone? That's something I think all marketers and sales forces need to be questioning right now, and what I think makes the tool a no-brainer.